Don Juan Jones Devil, Chapter 7. Olegario Oriol, a Revolta village, no number. I had to look it up on the map because he didn't give me the chance to ask if he knew where it was. At the Revolta village with no number, at 11 hours in the night, there were 5 houses with the lights off and any sign that showed the way to the quack's place. And the worst was that there wasn't a miserable tavern where to ask. The Revolta village had to be advertised as place of interest for being the only place without tavern of the country. The truth is that I neither needed to wake up anybody. In one side of the path, praying for the drop I noticed on the right side wasn't a muddy stream impossible to get out of, with the lights on and the music at full blast, one old woman knocked on my side window. I took long to open because the headlights gave her a terrifying look. "Have you punctured?" he asked, feeling my distrust. I opened the window and told her that I hadn't, that I was looking for the so-called Olegario, but I didn't know which one his home was. "Oh, sweetheart, it's over there," she said, pointing at one house with an aluminum gateway and a bunch of iron hairs on its side. "But he's probably sleeping. He goes to bed very early. Try and ring." The woman moved aside a few centimeters, just needed to let me open the door, and stood next to the car, seeing what happened with my approach to the wizard's home. "Yeah," went out of the bazaar half-heartedly. "Hi, I wanted to make an inquiry," I said. "For God's sake, you don't leave me alone, not even at night," he muttered. "The evening inquiries cost 100 euros, not up to you or anything. Haven't you got 100 euros? "Sure," I answered. "Put them in front of the camera," he demanded. I found the camera because the old woman pointed at the letterbox. I really hadn't seen it. After a few seconds, he opened the door. The house hadn't anything special. A wooden bench with a coat rack with an umbrella hanging behind. The door that led to the surgery was wooden with a yellow curve with flowers glass. "Sit down, dear, sit down." That man with tired look, grey hair, thick glasses, and check gown worn out on the elbows invited. After the initial kindness, he turned his hand round so I could put the 100 euros on. "Let's see, dear, what's going on?" he asked. I told him the full story. I really did it off, and it sounded like it had happened to another person of repeating it on and on. "Kid, that is going to cost you more than 100 euros. It's a very fine job," he sold. "A friend of mine recommended me not to do this, but I don't like the vagueness. I'm not paying you 3,000 euros or something like that. I don't have that kind of money, and if I had it, I wouldn't give it to you. So you are telling me right now why it didn't work." "Dear, in my opinion, you should listen to your friend," he said with a false kindness smile. Sure. How much does the answer cost?" I asked, not letting him haggle. 200 euros, he said, listen to reason. "You probably meant 100. 200 seems too much to me, you know." He thought about it for a while, for a few seconds, the seconds I needed to take the other 100 out of my wallet. "Fine," he said. Before giving him the money, I made it clear the answer should go further than telling me it was one use spell. Because I was tired for the lack of sleep. I had slept, but he didn't have to know it. And because I had very bad temper. Take it easy, dear. You are a very suspicious woman, he said. You have to find a cage for him, and the lock must be a spell like the one you read, but of your own, original. Oliver explained with incredible calm as he was giving me the crepes recipe. So you say the armchair was the cage, and the spell was the key. And how did you manage to make him go in? I asked. Kid, that costs money. He answered, walking to the door to show me the way out. I left because the old woman had seen me go in, and I was quite sure she had memory enough to give my description to the police. If not, I would strangle the quack for sure, or even better, I would stay there the whole night banging with the frying pan on the iron kitchen. Back at home, it was silence, the usual until the devil came, of course. In front of the door, I was so sorry for clouding that peace that I didn't dare to put the key into the lock. I sat down on the floor, I lay down all curled up on the doormat, and I slept. What? Aren't you coming today either? My partner asked. Excuse me? What time is it? I answered. It's 11. Well, no, I'm taking 3 days of personal affairs. I have a small conflict at home, I told her. Do you want me to tell it just like that to the boss? She asked, scared. No, don't bother. I'll do it myself, I answered. I was amazed that, in spite of being the boss' pet, she was so fussy talking with the boss. I phoned him, I explained the personal affairs thing, and the truth is that, although his shouts indicated my absence didn't suit him, he ended saying I could take whatever I needed. There were personal affairs days, nobody took them, but there really were personal affairs days. I got up working up. The lack of sleep had made me not hear the elevator noise, or the buzzer, or anything. I thought that if the goblin could sleep during nights, it could be funny have him at home and show him to visitors. I thought that maybe the spell was delayed action because it wasn't original and I had just got rid of him. I thought so many beautiful things. I heard on my ear as soon as I opened the door. So immediate it was that I thought he ran down the building and they could put the blame on me. But that wasn't anything compared with what was waiting for me. In my place, the telly stuck into an umbrella, the sofa upside down, the books as a rug, the border on the bed, the washing machine next to the fridge, and the bathroom. Shit on you and your devil! And when I didn't censor the previous 12 words and I censored this, you just can imagine what went out of my little mouth. The laptop! If you broke my computer, I'll kill you! I shouted hysterical. Oh, I forgot. I have it on my back. I breathed with relief. The goblin laughed. And suspense bounded again. Seeing that nightmarish spectacle, and it isn't an exaggeration, to the huge euro symbol with wings that clouded my sight. No, I understood. He had slept the whole night. Do you want to know if the goblins sleep? Lois repeated. Yes, I think they do. There are pictures of them sleeping. Yes, I suppose. And do they eat? I asked. He told me they ate blackberries, that they were vegetarian with some exception, and they had a refined palate. He also added that the time inside these explosions Olegario had told me about were like hibernations, and they woke up starving and with a lot of energy. Maybe that's why he's so difficult, he deduced. Well, the only thing that may fit is some cereal with dry fruits. And by the way, he liked them. The 7 packets I had bought in the supermarket offer were all scattered around the floor, and he didn't left not a single crumb of the cereal. And by the way too, he found out the fridge door opened, and it had light inside. Ha! Ha! Ha!